for this recipe, you would only need 2 ingredients. See, it's so easy. The first ingredient you will need are eggs. And for now, we are having chicken eggs. See? Chicken eggs. These are a dozen chicken eggs and they are in size of extra large. Yes, these are farm fresh eggs. Farm fresh chicken eggs. Very specific, right? And next, you would need your salt. Here. This is a kilogram of iodized salt, but the most preferred type of salt to be used for this recipe is rock salt. Okay? Let's get started. To begin with, we also have to prepare for the materials you would need to use. Of course! Why would you cook if you don't have materials, right? Or equipment. So the first thing you would need is a saucepan. Of course, we're going to boil water, then put salt. So you need a pretty large saucepan. And make sure it's clean, okay? No boiled coffee here or something. Next is, for accurate measurements, you would need this. This is a measuring cup which has a capacity of 250 milliliters. Can it be seen? I hope it can be seen this time. Anyway, and of course you would need a spoon because you are going to dissolve salt in like boiling water. Of course you would need the protection which a spoon can give you. Yeah. And next, of course, is the place you're going to put your eggs during the entire, we call this curing process. Yeah. You would need a very large container. I think this is too large. Well, I think, anyway, it can hold more than 12 eggs. It's pretty deep enough, so if there is enough brine solution to fill this thing, you can just turn the cover upside down so that could submerge the eggs. Right? So let's get started and let's get cooking. Okay, so here's the first thing we're going to do. We are going to measure how many cups of salt you can put in your brine solution. Okay, so we are just going to place this first temporarily here, okay, or in your saucepan, because our proportions for this recipe is 1:1. So for every cup of salt there is, you put 1 cup of water in. So just fill in your cups with salt. Just fill it in. Now, I'm not sure how many cups this will make. Anyway, it's just an estimate. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we are going to prepare 3. Now, it really depends upon your taste preference, how salty your eggs are, because it really depends upon your proportioning, if that's a word or something. Anyway, there are 3 cups of salt, as you can see here. Those are 3 cups of salt already. And I think that we won't be able to fill this container if we're just going to put 3 cups of water. So what we are going to do is, for every cup of salt is or maybe for every cup of salt we are going to put 2 cups of water, and let's see what will happen. And we're back, and I would like to introduce you to our kitchen sink. Well, just kidding. So, since we already measured 3 cups of salt, we are going to make a proportion of 2 cups of water and 1 cup of salt. So you can just use ordinary tap water for this. So we're going to measure 6 cups. 1, And we are going to set this on the stove. Okay, so we're just going to bring this to a boil. Here we go again. Oh, I got that in the first one. So we'll be back when the water is boiling, and since my camera is low on battery, I'll be charging it for the time that this thing will boil. Okay, see you later. Okay, so I lied earlier. The water is just simmering right now. See? I'll show it to you. You can see bubbles under the pan rising very slowly. And maybe at this actually not maybe, definitely at this temperature you can melt salt already. So I'm going to put it in. Okay, so I have to be definitely very careful because I'm only operating the camera with one hand. Okay, so just put all the salt in there. Now you don't have to worry about this because salt doesn't burn once it's at the bottom of the pan. So just put all the salt in there. I'll hold my camera with my left hand and just give it a stir. Just give it a stir. Just stir. Actually, you don't have to continue stirring all the way because this will dissolve eventually. You can see. If you can see it, you can see where salt is. There. It's like the rim of the pan. And the water and the salt is just settling down there. So we'll just boil the water first and just dissolve the salt. Okay? And we'll be back in a few moments. Okay, so we are back and the water took 30 minutes to boil, and that was forever. And this is what happened. This wasn't the saucepan we used a while ago, but if you're wondering how come it became bigger and why it's transformed to Super Sailor Moon, well, the reason is the salt, which you can find crystallizing on the top layer, and the one which is still solid, the bottom layer. Oh, let me see my left hand. See, it's still solid. It's because I added 3 more cups of water in it. And if this is what happened to your cooking, you have to reduce the salt content of the brine solution. But if you're going to do that, it will just become less saltier. And the same with your eggs be after the curing process. Okay, so since this is already for every cup there are 3 cups of, again, for a cup of salt there are 3 cups of water, so it's just too much, or maybe that I just didn't dissolve it long enough, or I wasn't patient enough. I'll get that first.